Hello, welcome. This is Food with Life.
I'm your host Chapatti, and we're here with some very, very special guests. We've done couple shows on yoga, breath, prana or energy, and how it plays in food. And now we have some very special people to share information and knowledge with us. Our first guest is Dr. Corey Cameron, a very good chiropractic doctor here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and a very special yoga teacher, Mr. Steve Sperber, who's a nutritional consultant and has worked with many people on yoga, and he's a teacher of something called Art of Living Foundation and breathing. Welcome.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you here both. Tell me, Dr. Corey, if I might ask you, dealing with people from the whole physical structure, the organs, the whole anatomy of the body, is there something you can draw a generalization to say from your dealing with these people, that the difficulties, the problems people have, can you put it in a way that is any one particular thing that people need to focus more on, or a few things that people need to develop to help their body to heal?
The biggest thing I see in my practice is that we are living in such a toxic world, and the toxicity doesn't just affect the physical body, but it affects the mental and emotional body. So the biggest gift I can give someone is things that help them to detoxify and cleanse, because once the body has detoxified, the body heals itself.
So I notice you say, though, the emotional body. I think what I've seen most, I'm not expert, but we always deal with the physical body. And I don't know if there is a strong tie with this emotional body. But I don't know if many people realize this. Do you think it is a very common knowledge? Because I'm wondering if you can say something about the emotional body. This is our feelings,
Right.
our mental attitudes, and things of this kind.
I think that because how traditional medicine takes us into pieces, and we have a doctor for the feet and a doctor for the hands and a doctor for the heart, we forget that it's all one. So the emotional body is a whole part of our physical body, and when the physical body is in pain, in turmoil, the emotional body follows suit. So you can't separate one from the other.
Steve, from your experience being a yoga teacher, can you draw some particular angles that people you find from your development with the body and people's exercise through yoga, the weaknesses and the imbalances, and how it can be possibly adjusted to create a more holistic betterment of the individual?
Yeah, what I see is when people come, we all have this tendency of wanting to push one button or take one pill and everything will be fine. And sometimes I emphasize you have to have a little patience and persistence. And sometimes I deal with people in a wheelchair and they can only move this far. But after 3 months of working with them, they go all the way this far. And that might not be much for us, but it's huge for them. So I find developing a little bit more flexibility in the body, and also that loosens up their attitudes a little bit. They can see progress in their body, movement in their body, and then also working with the breath. That's a significant thing.
I've learned people say they do different breathing, but can indeed the breath make some strong impact on changing the physiology?
Yes, very much so. We take the breath for granted. You know, we can do without solid food. There are some people, if you've seen Survivor, they could do without solid food for weeks. We could do without water for 3 days. But how long, Chapatti, can you do without breath?
Let me see. I better stop. Not very long, a short time.
Exactly. And so the way that our mind is, the quality of our mind affects our breath, and the other way around. So if you observe when you go into either a state of fear, someone puts a gun behind your back, God forbid, you freeze, you stop breathing. And if you laugh, if you see a funny comedian, there's a certain pattern to the breath. And when we're in love, there's a certain pattern to the breath.
We're going to take a break.
Okay?
I want you to hold that thought
Hold my
about
breath.
love, about love,
Okay.
and we'll begin it when we come back. Yes?
Yes.
Stay with us. I'm your Chapatti with our wonderful guest.
This is Food with Life. We'll be right back.